Sports in the city. Sports in the city. We keeping it gritty with that sports in the city. Welcome to that Sports in the City, live from the arena, from the east to the west coast, from the south to the north, all over the globe. There's a Sports in the City wherever you are. Thanks for tuning in to Sports in the City TV. I'm your sports G. Reed Richards with my partners in crime, BK Ty and Kato Cash. Geologic on the boards. What's going on, fellas?
What's good?
What up, what up? Good evening. Shouts out to all the sports fans out there all over the globe, every arena, every field, every court. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Please check us out on YouTube Live. What up, what up, what up? What's going on, Reed?
Everything is everything, man. Peace, my G's. Peace, God. K Cash, what's good, bro?
What's good?
Everything is everything. About to get it in.
Keep things together in here, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. We about to get into it. You know what I mean? Top shelf sports topics you want us to talk about, hit us up. Want to sponsor the show? Let us know. Most definitely. TMC style, bob and weave, shake and bake, quick pick, rapid fire, high-powered offense style. Great men do great things. We laugh, joke, and kid, but we don't play. We don't play around. We don't mess around. We don't fool around. We get down to the business. So here we go. Let's get to it. This is going to be a classic. Yo, Geologic. This is going to be a classic. A monster, man.
It's going to be a monster, man. We going to get that. It's going to be a monster.
Yep. Sports in the City TV via the iRant Network presents Top Shelf Thursday. What's the story in the city? The word on the streets. The haps from the arena. The Equinox Progression continues. Season 2, Episode 7. The Madness of March. You already know the second quarter of the sports Equinox is heating up. NFL free agency is on fire. You know you got March Madness. NBA second half is sizzling. Almost coming to an end. And we got more in store with flavors galore in our sports candy store. So let's get to it. Strictly top shelf off the top of the pile.
What's good? What's good?
When criminals in this world
Shelf. Helmet to helmet. We're going to talk about NFL free agency. Things are still heating up. What's the hottest topic right now in free agency, G?
In NFL free agency? I don't know. There hasn't been any noise other than the fact that Dallas has decided to wait till after the season to give Dak his bread, which could signal the end of the Dak Prescott era in Dallas.
He's $60 million on the cap. Unless he restructures his contract, they're gonna take a hit.
I see him pulling a Kirk Cousins. Stick him up, stick him up, stick him up, stick him up.
You gotta pay that man.
You gotta pay that man.
You gotta pay that man.
That's all. It's not personal.
Nope.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. So we also gonna cover the March Madness, man, reaching the summit. The women are top shelf right now, bro. A lot of them games have been sizzling, and they've been really close games, very competitive. Have you checked out any of the games? I ain't gonna ask you, Cash, just yet, man. Let you think on that. Any women's games that you've caught, Ty?
I caught that. I caught a little bit of that Notre Dame game. And that was really the only one. I mean, I was flipping channels back and forth, man. I caught a piece of the the Iowa game. Caitlin Clark didn't look all worldly phenomenal, otherworldly, shall I say, but that's a hiccup, a blip. We know that she's going to bring it. But yeah, that's about it that I saw, man, as far as the women's games is concerned.
What about you, Cash?
I caught the UCLA Creighton game. UCLA won because I want to see the UCLA LSU game.
Juju? You saw
Yeah.
Juju get busy?
Nah, that's not even Juju. LSU. I mean
Juju's USC.
Yeah, USC. UCLA.
Oh, you was watching
got
LSU. LSU, my bad.
Yeah. No, UCLA has a good women's team, so I was watching them. I heard a lot about them. I wanted to see it with my own eyes, and I caught part of the Notre Dame game also. So the women's game was exciting and stuff. They were two. The UCLA game was close against Creighton, 67-63.
Right.
But the Notre Dame game was a blowout. So it's what it is, man. The women is still putting it up.
Right.
Yeah.
So right now, before we move along into the brackets, who you got as your final four right now?
On my women's side, my teams are still alive. I have LSU. Oh no, I have UCLA. I'm sorry. I do have UCLA. I have South Carolina, and I also have Iowa. And I got Iowa and South Carolina in the finals, and I got South Carolina winning it.
That's who I got. South Carolina, Iowa in the finals. USC, they out of there. Iowa's still in it. Yeah, that's the only ones I still got left.
Okay. Any upsets that you saw?
Nah,
I didn't see any upsets on the women's side.
The women's side been pretty much
chalky.
Yeah.
The men's side, on the other hand, there was some upsets. Talk about it. The biggest one that I saw was definitely Kentucky getting upset.
Yeah.
Calipari was complaining about the portal, how he doesn't have any veteran players, but that's the team that he put together. So do you think he has a legitimate gripe, or is he catching that same bug that Alabama Saban caught when he was complaining about the portal?
Yeah, the portal is in the portal, from what I understand, you get one free transfer where you don't got to sit out, or you can just keep going whenever you want.
What, with the portal?
Yeah, because I think
they look like they transferring this, unless they changed it. Cats have been transferring,
Wow.
It's their option now. They've been exercising their rights to move on.
Yeah, but it's not like you could just jump from school to school, is it? Isn't there like a limit on how many, or you'd have to like sit out a year? Because I think that not at all.
No, because Caleb Williams was at Oklahoma previously,
right?
And he went to USC. He didn't sit out.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I think the transfer portal allows you, because typically when you transfer, they make you sit out a year. Or that's how it used to be before the transfer portal. That's why the transfer portal became so popular, because cats could see, I don't like this situation. Let me go hop over here.
I don't remember them sitting out. Why would they sit out unless they were a redshirt freshman?
Nah, I think it was, I think it has something to do if you transferred school. I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly, but I seem to remember something about having to sit out, or maybe it was in basketball, not football.
Yeah, that's possible, because I never heard of that in football. Definitely. So now let's move on to the men's side of the bracket. Any games that stood out to you that you caught or sort of highlights of?
It was a lot of games. There was a lot of good games. There was a lot of upsets.
Yeah, there were. There definitely were a lot of upsets on the men's side. Outside of the Kentucky losing. Yeah. So right now, Clemson is up, talking about upsets. Clemson is up 29-16 on the Wildcats of Arizona. and San Diego State and UConn just tipped off, and San Diego has an early 2-zip lead,
That's the match of last year's championship game.
followed by Alabama and North Carolina will be on at 9:30, and the Fighting Illini and Iowa State will be playing the 10 o'clock game. Who you think is going to win those? Is Clemson?
I think that's probably going to be the best game tonight, the Illinois Iowa State game.
Yeah, the best offense and the best defense matching up against each other. I think Arizona may forge a comeback. I'm rooting for San Diego State versus UConn. Don't want to see a repeat. I think UConn got their fair share, but I don't know. Are they beatable? Because didn't San Diego State play them last year in the final?
Yeah, that's what I said before. That's the rematch of the finals.
Yeah,
San Diego State is a scrappy team. We always know them to be. I think it's going to be a good game because UConn has really never played a tough team with a good inside game yet in the tournament. They played Stetson and Northwestern. We really don't have any bigs to match up with their bigs.
Right. That is a good point on that note. Yeah. So who's your final four on the men's side?
It's blown up already, bro. It's UConn, UConn, Kentucky, South Carolina's gone, and Houston. Houston's still there, but Kentucky's gone, so it's blown up.
Yeah, man. I had my bracket's been busted. I think from the first week, especially on the men's side, it was a lot of upsets, man. A lot of upsets. You know?
Yeah.
So I got UConn and Houston in the final, so I'm still alive.
All right, Houston and UConn and Kentucky.
UConn
I pick Kentucky to win.
Oh man,
my final four is UConn versus Arizona, Houston versus Tennessee. So we still alive and kicking.
Right. I got San Diego State and Creighton in the final.
I wonder if I think they
you
said
got
they
San Diego State and Creighton in the NCAA men's final.
Yep.
What?
Yep. Yep.
Wow. You just picked the Cinderella both ways.
Well, San Diego was there last year, so they had experience from last year. So if they could get past UConn, what's stopping them?
You're right.
Hey, any pick is good. I mean, well, not any pick is good, but anything can happen, man.
Yeah,
Cinderella,
man.
baby.
It's that time of the year, man. It's that time of the year, fellas. It's that time of the year.
Midnight about to strike for some of these teams, though.
Oh,
telling you, some pumpkins gonna happen tonight. You're gonna see some pumpkins tonight.
Yeah, man. I think like we was talking about last time, man. I think that G League Ignite closing or whatever. Like this tournament is like a kind of, I won't even say the tournament, but the NCAA season on a whole, man, is kind of like an illustration, man. The fact that the girls' game got more shine than the fellas, man. The men's game didn't have any star power for real, man. Like
you gotta remember this. Since the sneaker, it's a lot of business moving parts. Rock Nation, a lot of things have been introduced to this pie that wasn't there before. So the individuals, unless they align with certain people, they're not gonna be promoted like that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, talent is talent, regardless of who you align with. There's no John Morant. There's no Zion Williamson.
John Morant went to Murray State, my man. He was he
didn't get a lot of shine. I mean, like if you didn't know about,
until you see them in the tournament, man. People ain't see him play before. You wasn't watching the Sun Belt Conference.
Exactly, but like even now, this deep in the tournament, there's really no
standout that you be like, yo,
no
this
wow factor guys, man. I mean, to the point where let's talk about Caitlin Clark and Ice Cube, yo.
No.
Offered her $5 million. Was it, or was it $3 million?
Groupies.
Huh?
He became a groupie in front of my eyes. Ice Cube.
Yeah, he did. He sure did. He said the sponsors got the money, So speaking on the women's side, I got South Carolina and USC in the final. Final Four, I got South Carolina and Stanford, and Colorado and USC, with USC and South Carolina going to the chip, and South Carolina winning it all. So I have to make a correction from our previous segment. Ty was right. UConn have been the only teams to go back to back on the women's side. They did it twice, actually. And then on the men's side, it was UCLA, and they also did it twice, where they repeated back to back. So I was incorrect saying if South Carolina wins it this year, that they would have an opportunity to do that going forward. But it wasn't 4 teams. It was only 2 teams, one on each side. But UConn did it twice, and UCLA did it twice also. The Lou Alcindor teams, and then the Bill Walton teams did that. And, of course, Gino with his UConn Lady Huskies, they also repeated more than once. What you about to say over there, Cash?
I was saying my bracket is still live on the women's side. My bracket is live.
Yeah, I mean, as far as it's not perfect, but my teams that I got to the chip are still in contention on both sides.
Yeah, I got Iowa, UCLA on one side.
Okay.
And I got Stanford and South Carolina. Yeah, and South Carolina to the championship. I'm still alive on the women's side. My bracket's still good money.
All right.
It's the men's side. I give you credit too, Jess. You talked to me about the men's basketball team, the Colorado game. I caught that game on TV, and the team was better. It was good. Deion Sanders wasn't in the crowd, no shenanigans or anything. The game went into overtime. They ended up losing, but it was a very good team, and I could see them making noise next year. I just want to give you props for that because you said about the Colorado men's team.
Thank you, sir. Who did Oakland beat? Was that Kentucky that they beat?
Yeah, Oakland beat Kentucky, and then they lost to Marquette. You ain't give me no props for Marquette, Josh.
Marquette is still in there.
Marquette, baby.
Yeah, Marquette and Creighton, they're both doing their thing, and both are still in the running.
I told you, man.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Then if you watch them play, they got a good rounded team. The thing I think about college basketball this year, the coaches are showing the coaching abilities and interchangeable lineups. See, unlike previous years past where you only had the starting 5 playing most of the game, a lot of these teams run 8, 9, 10, 11 deep.
Right.
So that's why you're not hearing about any one particular star like that.
Right. That is true. There's a lot of parity.
A lot of parity. And because of the NILs, people are jumping around, and it's making the board balance because some of those big players from mid-majors are transferring to big schools and other things like that.
Well, John Calipari was complaining about that this week, that it makes it difficult to form a team and keep any continuity. But I beg to differ with him because he's always just picked a lot of talented freshmen, and most of the time they used to leave his team.
Yeah. So what's he complaining about now?
That he doesn't have veteran players like
That's
older
on
players.
You. That's on you.
Like
That's on
Oakland
you.
had 24, 25-year-olds, and he was talking about his Kentucky Wildcat team were full of freshmen, and they couldn't really play with those grown men.
You know why? Just they had a senior last year named Oscar. His name is with a T. Mm-hmm. So why he didn't make the NBA, and a lot of the older players that were staying at Kentucky weren't making it to the pros or making it any damage. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? So they don't want to stick around that school. And another thing is, I don't see why he should be beefing if North Carolina called him with a better job, he would leave on the plane the first ticket out of town. So if the players could do what they do, it's no different.
Right. Well, he's going to have to deal with it if he's going to continue coaching.
Yeah, every job
he's going to have to retire.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Every job has its changes in the market and stuff. Like, I'm sorry, guy, you got to deal with it just like anybody else.
Isn't that the age old thing with free agency? It's like, now the rabbit got the gun kind of thing.
It could be that, or some of the players is making more than the coaches. A little haters.
Oh yeah,
on.
absolutely.
Yo,
More than
and a little
coaches,
haters going on.
But to your point,
but I didn't want to bring up that point.
But more so to the point that you made earlier, just players having more freedom to move around to better situations that's better for them.
As they should. They monetarize however amount of their childhood that they had to sacrifice to play that sport. Why can't they cash it in before they become insurance salesmen or something like that? Like when I was watching the Oakland game, I'm not gonna lie, I was looking at it. Yo, these are the State Farm agents of tomorrow. None of them are gonna be in the NBA, and they just played so hard. Yeah. And I viewed why they beat Kentucky because I watched that game too. It's like they were playing for a whole other thing. Their minds were there. The Kentucky players was thinking about, oh, I'm going to get drafted or I'm going to transfer to this school. You understand? It's a different.
But if you play for Kentucky, where would you transfer to?
You could transfer to Kansas. You could transfer to Michigan. It's musical.
I mean, the options are available, but I'm saying, isn't Kentucky one of the blue blood Power 5 teams in the men's college ranks?
And Ty, can you answer this one or second my opinion on this? Most of the players at Kentucky, if you don't leave within your first 2 years, you're not nothing. You like the Harrison twins.
Yeah, this is kind of true. There's certain schools that they whole history, they whole MO is getting blue chippers and not really keeping them too long, at all.
Yeah.
And that's
change that formula up though.
Yeah, this is not Villanova.
You might have to change that formula up
players better
because it's not working
by season. No, but I'm saying this is not Villanova. There's some outliners. There's the Gonzagas. There's different schools where people stay there and mature and stuff, but it's just not a lot of them. And you got to have a certain type of coach and structure and system intact.
Like Hurley and UConn, they've built a good program and they've kept their players. But we shall see how Calipari copes with this going forward.
One last thing on that note, kind of to Cato's point, it's not just a Kentucky thing because look at how guys are labeled when they come into the league and they're over 22 years old.
Exactly.
Let a dude come and look what they said about Obi Toppin. Oh, he's old already. You come into the league, you 22, 23, you're probably going to be considered like a journeyman, or that's the career you're probably going to end up having.
Yeah, like the guy on the Pacers, Chris Dort. He's good, but no, on the Pacers, he used to play for Oregon. He's like 23 years old. And because he's that age when he came out, he got caught up in the AAU system going to the private schools because he had to get up his grades and credits and things like that.
Kept reclassing.
Yeah, kept reclassing and stuff. And that's another situation just too. I just want to take a sidebar for a minute. The New York City PAL had a big situation this year, the high school men's, where a couple of teams, South Shore High School, my old alma mater, Jefferson High School, and Eagle, got disqualified for playing players that were ineligible for various reasons. And they had no championship to name from the whole New York City this year. It's the first time it's happened in over 50 years.
Damn. Well, age violations or academic?
It's a bunch of different ones. I don't want to get too much into it because I don't know the whole story, but it's crazy. Different violations from students' absences to age and other type of things. So.
All right. Unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
That's the world that we living in now with the sports and the gambling and the this and the
I think it's eligibility. Gambling.
Yeah, we're gonna get on that. So we're gonna move on, man. NBA round ball around the world. The teams rising to the top and the teams that are not. Houston, baby, they on the heels of the Golden State Warriors for that last play-in spot. So what's top shelf around the world? The story in the city, the Hampton Arena, the word on the street, Anthony Edwards with that disrespectful poster dunk on John Collins was definitely crazy.
Had a
Yo,
few
I
poster
know y'all
dunks,
saw
the
that.
last couple of
They
weeks.
played that like they was running that.
Yeah,
Get dude a head contusion.
yeah,
He
and sprained his
dislocated
finger or
his
something like
finger.
that.
He slammed it so hard. So now he didn't really dunk, like grab the rim, but he did like a Blake Griffin type of joint where he was so high he just threw the ball in.
Yeah.
Is that a dunk to you? Or
Yes, of course, of course.
To
without
me, if
grabbing
you're
the
throwing
rim?
the ball down and not putting it up, that's a dunk. If you're
If
throwing
you're
the
what?
ball down, whether you touch the rim or not.
Once you get above the rim, I consider it a dunk. You
Yeah,
get it.
Consider it
because
a
they got
dunk?
guys for real that dunk two hands. They'll come behind, but it's really they just like flushing it. They don't even touch the rim.
Yeah,
Jump
exactly.
up
Because
two
they don't
hands
want to
and kind
thing
of
their
just flush it.
fingers. Because they want to jam their
Exactly.
fingers and stuff.
Exactly. So I don't think you have to
Larry
necessarily.
Nance used to dunk like that.
Yeah, so he don't
But
jam
he was
his
like
fingers.
the only one I saw do that. He used to do that and then
You gotta
he'll
have a
just let the ball
42.
slide in.
You gotta have a 42 or better vertical for
Well,
that.
Larry Nance was like 6'10, 6'11
Yeah.
though. So he didn't really
Nah,
have
but he
to.
had a crazy vertical leap though. Larry Nance.
Because
That
I
he did.
remember when he was in the dunk contest, he used to make it seem so effortlessly that he never won any of them. And he used to do like some amazing dunks, perform some amazing dunks, man. So let me get into the scores. Ja Logic, could you get the Anthony Edwards pulled up when you can? So in the Eastern Conference, we got Boston still number one, even though they had a upset loss to the Hawks the other day, where they were up by 30 and blew the lead. So that kind of questioned their moxie or their durability, their stamina when the playoffs is right around the corner. Then you got Milwaukee in second spot, the Knicks in third, the Cavaliers in fourth, the Magic in fifth, the Pacers in sixth, followed by the Heat, the 76ers, who might get Embiid back. And you got the Chicago Bulls in ninth spot, and then the Hawks in the 10th. The Nets, Raptors, Hornets, Wizards, and Pistons are
Can we
not in
not
the
mention the
network.
bottom teams? Can we not mention the Pistons, the Wizards?
You can't do
and
that
all
because I did that last time, and the Rockets is right there, 10, 11
Nah,
game winning streak.
I spoke about the Rockets. Can you give me my props?
You
I
didn't
spoke
talk
about
about
the
no Rockets. You said they not in the network.
I said they
in
not
the
in network, but
now.
I said, yo, they catching up to Golden State. You said,
Nah, you
put,
said
you
none
gonna
of
put
that.
your name on it? I said, nah, I ain't put my
You
name
said
on it.
none of
But
that.
I'm gonna mention the Rockets. I'm
Oh,
gonna mention the
man.
Rockets.
This guy over here. All right, let's talk about the Eastern Conference, man. Celtics gonna hold on, man, and get to that conference final or what?
What
man?
are they?
Let's talk
20
about
games above
I mean, that's the
everybody
regular
else?
season, though. The playoffs is a whole new season, brother.
Well, Holiday has a dead shoulder, so we'll see how that issue is. You know, the artist formerly known as Porzingis. You never know what's gonna be.
He's
with
been
him.
balling.
He
He's
might-
been balling.
He might trip on a TV remote and get hurt or something because he has been missing games frequently, like in and out the lineup and stuff. So
When this year?
we'll see. Yeah, this year.
Nah, he's been more.
He hasn't played as
this
much
year.
games as Wimpy. He hasn't played as much games as Wimpy.
What are you talking about? We ain't even in the Western Conference.
I'm just
bro.
saying he has it, and I'll compare him with another tall player.
Oh, all
He
right.
has it.
All right, what about the Bucks, man? It looks like they're getting it together. Doc Rivers
Nah.
has righted the ship over there, Ty.
Nah, they choked up against LA last night. I know you're gonna talk about that, Ty. Go ahead, Ty. Go ahead,
Nah,
Ty.
I'm just gonna say we
It's one game.
they're not ready, man. That deep it's
Yo,
all
bro.
about here's the other thing, man. How they don't have their offensive identity down pat yet. You know what I'm saying? How you down?
No, it's more
It's crunch
defense
time and the
that they
score is
don't
tied,
They
or you
blew
down one,
16
and Giannis
points in
still
the
over
fourth
dribbling the
quarter.
ball. You got Giannis. I thought that's what they got Dame for. I think Giannis be forgetting sometimes that Dame is on the team. Dame should be the closer. I think that's gonna come back to bite him.
They had your man Reeves looking like JJ Redick last night. It was crazy. I was like, when they came back, Anthony Davis was killing them though.
He
killing
did.
them. Was eating their food, taking their lunch
did
money.
kill him.
Taking their lunch money.
I think he had like 30 and 20 something rebounds.
That's what I was saying. He was just taking their lunch away.
He had like 35 and 23 rebounds, something crazy. He had a crazy stat line. Well, that's one, and LeBron wasn't even playing, right?
That's what I'm saying.
LeBron
Like
was out. So
the Bucks, when you lose a game like that,
Yeah.
nah, son, there's something going on beneath the scenes. It looked like they're gonna implode in the playoffs. I think they're gonna implode in the
offensively, I think they'll get it together as far as like getting that closer role together, but their defense is very porous right now. That's their biggest Achilles right now. Is their defense.
They don't want none of the heat in the first round. They don't want none of the heat in the first round. Son.
What about those Knicks though? Is Randall gonna make it back?
At this point, I don't think he'll come back soon enough for him to be able to be relied on in the fashion that we used to relying on him.
Guys, can you give me some credit for your man McBride?
Oh yeah,
McBride is killing it. I told you your boy was gonna make you forget.
Deuce got people like IQ who?
Who? I told y'all, son. I told you.
And he had a crazy dunk last night too.
When they
sure. Oh wait, yeah. Deuce had a dunk last night.
Yeah.
Was it Deuce or
nah? It was a Chua.
Oh yeah.
Precious.
Yeah.
When your
He's
man
another
Dolan,
one, man. We got a team full of overachievers, yo.
But they're in the 3 spot right now. They good.
Yeah. But I temper my enthusiasm on that because we got a tough schedule coming up, man. And these teams that we've been blowing out and embarrassing, man, they've been bottom feeding.
Y'all supposed to do that, though. That's what I'm saying. That's a sign of a good team, Todd, man. Don't beat Stephen A. Smith. Y'all got to beat those teams like that.
Yeah, we handling those teams the way we're supposed to, but let's see what happens now when, they face tougher competition. I think 6 of the last 10 or 9 teams we face have records over 500. I think 4 of them already got established playoff positions, stuff like that. So it's going to be tough. I definitely think the Knicks will hold their playoff spot, but keeping that 3rd place spot is going to be tough.
The Cavs are a half game behind the Knicks, followed by the Magic. Talk about your Magic. We ain't gonna talk about the Cavs because I think
hold on. Let me just say one more thing for the Knicks. When I see your man Dolan bust out his wallet and give your man a 3-year extension for $19 million off the back, I told you your man is nice. Your man Deuce.
McBride. Yeah.
He got his extension quick, yo. Yep. You know who he remind me of? Chris Childs, bro. But better. He looked better than Chris Childs, bro. When y'all remember when y'all
definitely more athletic. And I think Chris Childs had a better handle than Deuce does.
No, but I'm just talking about like out of nowhere where y'all didn't expect this and y'all got rid of somebody that everybody was like, yo, y'all got to miss him. And
and to your point, Chris Childs was a good long range shooter.
Yes, Chris Childs. Before y'all gave him the contract. Yeah. And his left was crazy. Crazy left.
Had the 2-piece.
Yep. With a biscuit. But just talk about the Magic, man. I'm just hoping Cleveland locks in the 4th seed. Maybe we could beat Cleveland in the 1st round. And then we won't catch a broom. I hope we can win 1 game against Boston. One game.
Wishful thinking, but we shall see. Followed by the Pacers, the Heat. So you say the Heat gonna make another playoff run? I think the Heat making their playoff aspirations and runs. I think that those days are done, bro.
Yo,
they rely on Jimmy buckets too much.
Yo, the Bucks don't want no smoke with the Heat, guys. I'm telling y'all right now.
This is what I'm saying though. How far can the Heat really go? How far can they really go? Because they rely on Jimmy buckets so much.
Go to the conference finals.
I'm
telling y'all. Yes. If everything shake out. If they beat the Bucks, who's gonna be the next round? They gonna play the Cleveland Orlando winner, bro.
Let's not act like they didn't go to the finals from the play-in before, like 2 years ago. So
that was 2 years ago. Those type of runs are gonna take a toll on Jimmy Butler.
No, they're taking a toll on Jimmy.
You keep counting out my man Jimmy buckets, yo.
It has. I ain't counting them out. I'm just saying, like, How many times can he do it, man? How many times can he go in the phone booth and come out as Superman?
Hey, Reed,
We shall see.
That's what she said. That's
I
what
don't
she
know
said.
who
How many
she
times can
was.
he do it? That's what
He
she said, bro.
Hey, man.
That gets a pause.
See, there you
That's
go
what she
again.
said,
Pause,
yo.
man.
It
See, there you go. You're gonna have the women coming at us again. They got ready to cancel you, man.
Right.
So Embiid, you don't think he's coming back?
It doesn't matter if he comes back. He's not gonna be
Yeah.
ready to play to put him in and actually be effective, man.
Okay. Chicago Bulls, are they mailing it in?
They try to keep your man Billy Donovan
They
his
just
job,
they just
bro.
extend. Yeah, they just trying to extend their season as long as they can.
Mm,
I don't expect them to make it out the play-in if they even qualify for it.
gotcha. So, any last thoughts on the Eastern Conference standings before we move on? Oh, there go to Anthony Edwards joint. Yeah, let's take a look at that.
And only had one shot attempt in that first half. Another turnover for Utah. Edwards gets it back and threw it down. And one.
That was the illest dunk he's caught this season. But my man has a nice little mixtape of catching bodies this season, man. Very Jordan-esque
That
this
was
season.
ridiculous.
Yo, his own players was cold. That's why the cameras wasn't on them. Oh man.
Yeah, let's see this again. Bang. Damn. Collins caught a bad decision. Why would you even try to go up
Immediately
and
looked
then
down at his
sideways?
hand.
Your man Sexton didn't even help him
After
up.
the dunk, it's an and one
What hit Collins
opportunity, but if he
though? Now that I'm
can't
looking at it, what he got hit with?
shoot this free throw,
Y'all hit
Was
with
it a
that
knee?
boy.
no, we can exhale. Unbelievable.
Was it a
Edwards
knee or a forearm or
back
something?
out there on the floor.
Or just the collision
He
itself?
needed every bit of that time.
It had to be a knee.
Why
Immediately
Anthony
looked
Edwards
down at his
the
hand.
knee, yeah.
So why
The knee.
Anthony Edwards didn't go
After
try
the
to help
dunk,
him up,
it's an
man?
and
First the
one
hand or the knee, because his finger was busted. He
opportunity, but
dislocated
if
his
he can't
finger on
shoot
that
this
one.
free throw,
Juicy.
that's not a good thing.
Which was crazy.
We can exhale.
Unbelievable. Like, man,
Edwards back out there on the floor. They needed every bit of that timeout to get that hand checked out after he just exploded.
He got hit with the shampoo.
Was that the dunk
over
of the
John
year?
Collins.
That's
He got hit with
cold.
chains. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I just was texting with.
Oh, the hand
I just
first.
was
Oh,
texting
he
with
punched
the
him in the
producer for
face.
the Denver Nuggets because they're
And
going to
they
have me on
need
the
him too
pregame show tomorrow.
afterwards.
And
Well,
he
why
was
would he
asking me
go up
about some of Ant's
sideways,
best
though, and
dunks,
then
and
try to
I gave
block
him a
this?
bunch of them. I mean,
That
doesn't
made
even
no
have to be
sense,
from his
man.
career. Just this year. Just look at the ones this year.
Probably trying to keep that chest,
That
that knee
one's
out his
got to be at
chest.
the top of the list right there.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
that
you
was
say?
crazy. Was that the dunk of the year, fellas?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
far, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
at this point, I don't think anybody's going to beat it. The season over in a minute.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Moving on to the Western Conference. Denver Nuggets in first place, followed by the Timberwolves, OKC, LA Clippers in fourth place. They starting to slip, followed by the Pelicans, the Mavericks, the Suns, the Kings, the Lakers, and the Golden State Warriors in the 10th spot, followed by the Houston Rockets, who are one game behind them. So, what's the word? What's the word on that?
Man, let me go first, man. The Nuggets look like they're gonna lock in the number one seed, even though they are half a game in front of the Timberwolves and the Thunder. But I'm not gonna lie, if they end a half a game out, they might as well hand Anthony Edwards the MVP.
Yeah.
Without most of his players in there, he has them still in first place. I watched the Clippers play this week. Your man Harden pulled a disappearing act. This time of the year, as usual, out in Philadelphia in his return back, is per usual. Phoenix looks surprisingly weak at the 7th seed. I thought they would be in the 5 seed by now, but I think the Pelicans are going to hold a 5 seed. The Suns, they could catch the Mavericks because they're only half a game in front. Then you got the Kings following out. It's going to be a nice play-in tournament. I think the play-in tournament is going to be better than the first round.
Well, right now in the play-in tournament, you're going to have LeBron, and the Lakers,
Steph,
the
probably
Dubs,
KD. Yeah, man.
the Suns,
KD and
and
the
KD,
Kings.
and then you got them Kings. I don't think any one of those teams want to see the Kings right now. And Sabonis,
That's crazy because I remember wasn't the Kings like second place in the league at one point this year?
Nah, they was like fourth. They made it up to like fourth.
Well, that
They
was
never-
like the first month of the season.
Mm.
Yeah, they haven't held that down. Matter of fact, we spoke about how early it was. Although they had a good start.
The Rockets on a 10-game winning streak though.
11.
And they only 11 now. Wow. And
Yep.
they only
A
they
game
only
behind the
game
play-in,
behind
the last
Golden
play-in.
State. Yes.
Yep. So
Yeah, I ain't gonna mention the rest of the teams on the bottom.
there.
All the eliminados.
They not in
Well,
our
the
network.
Grizzlies. Well, the Grizzlies, you know, since Ja been out, and the report says that he got another video surfaced with him with another hammer.
What, recently?
Well, right now you
Yeah,
see
he wasn't allowed to go to the practice or the facility. So I don't know, man. The young brother don't learn, man. He does not learn.
I think they're holding them for ransom and they just releasing old tapes.
That's possible. That's
You know what I'm saying?
possible. And
Story.
last night, your man Draymond got ejected again.
What's new?
Mouthing off to the refs. And Steph Curry looked like he was, about to break down. He can't take it anymore, man. He can't rely on Draymond. You rely on Draymond, you think he's gonna pull it together? If they could hold down the 10th spot, because right now, if they miss the play-in by 1 game or 2 games, you definitely got to blame Draymond. He missed 16 games, and he's got thrown out of 4 other games, and he gets technicals out the wazoo. Do you agree or disagree with that? I think he's the biggest reason why they're in this predicament.
Rudy Gobert gave the biggest indictment on Draymond, and is that when the going get tough, Draymond gonna be out of there, and he could tell early if it ain't gonna be a good game. But yeah, it's to the point where this remind me of Draymond. Draymond remind you of chicks that's like real ratchet or whatever, and you tell them about it, and they be like, "Oh well, that's me. If you don't like it, oh well," that kind of thing.
Right.
That's what Draymond remind me of.
Oh well, right? They just bad
like,
ratchet.
Oh well, if you don't like it, that's too bad. But this is me. This is who I'm gonna be.
But the kitty cat is good.
And I can dig Draymond's kind of dig his rationale to say, like, listen, man, I've been doing this since I've been in the league. And I might not have been applauded for it before, but I was made a celebrity because of how I play and because of my emotion for the game and all of that stuff. Now that we not winning or we not as competitive, it's a problem, and they want to throw me out of the game all the time and all that. I remember he made a comment about.
I don't
say it
think
again?
it's that. I don't think it's that. But
that's why
winning. But what I'm saying is, like, when he was doing it, he was playing at a much higher level, right? He was considered. He was considered, if not the best lockdown defender in the game. He was among the handful top 5 defenders in the game, and on any given night, he would be the one chosen to lock down the other team's best player, et cetera, et cetera. And he did have his antics, but come on, this past season has been utterly ridiculous. Like, we know he's had his incidents, stepping on people, kicking them in the balls, and things like that. But hold on, let me finish my point. But now he's still doing those things, but it's worse. And the worse he's getting with the antics, his play has diminished. You know what I mean? His play has diminished. Go ahead, Cash.
I said that he looked like Dennis Rodman when he was in LA and Dennis Rodman when he was in Dallas. He's at the end of the ride, man. Only certain players, when you play off of effort, he's an effort player. He's not a skill player where he is more talented, stronger, and all of that than anybody else. He plays off straight effort and up here.
How
Once,
Jalen Rose say, some players are skill, some are will.
yeah, he's a will player. The
He's a
will
will player.
players,
Yeah.
they have a certain amount of gas in the tank. And now, when that gas in the tank goes low, then you seeing what it is.
Yeah, same. It's him and Clay kind of suffer with the same emotion this season. You know, having to come to grips with their mortality. You're on a decline. Your team is not as dominant as they used to be. You're not the premier player that you were, and you got to step to the side and let these younger cats come up. And these younger cats are letting you know that you got to step to the side and let them come up. You know, and that's when you do stuff like waving your fingers, showing rings, and all that crazy nonsense. Because you can't come to grips with the fact that it's not your time anymore. Your time is past.
He's still a top 10 defender, though. He's still a top 10 defender.
I think he's capable of being that.
He still is. I mean, that doesn't go away overnight. Like, he's not aged so much since he's been on suspension.
He look like Uncle Ben, bro. He look like Uncle Ben, bro.
I think it's more in his mind, as you said. He's like the ratchet chick, and he's not been checked for so long. And now that all of these things are catching up to him, and they're not winning because of it. But at the end of the day, the 16-game suspension hurt the Warriors a lot. They had to adjust their game, get a new chemistry going. That took a minute to happen, and then they finally started to get on a roll. Then he comes back, try to re-assimilate with the team again. If they don't, his selfishness has caused them this season if they don't make the playoffs. So now with the play-in, out of those teams, the Warriors, the Lakers, the Suns, who do you think has a better run in them for the playoffs?
I would say LA. Out of all the play-in team, out of all the current teams right now for the play-in, right. I would say the Lakers, because they got. I mean, you see what can happen when these other guys are not concerned with. It's crazy to say that. I think LeBron, like, dudes play better when he's not on the floor, maybe.
Sometimes, but they're gonna need him in the playoffs, though.
Well, absolutely. Not to say that they'll be better not to say that they'll be better without him, but it seems like recently a lot of players are starting to step up in that regard. Like D'Lo's been having he been not on fire, but he been cooking the last 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
Hold on,
you know what I'm saying?
Can I say something? D'Lo only plays like this when he got a contract here, man.
Great.
He has a contract this year.
Great.
Can we call it like it is?
Of course.
Well, most players do the same thing, though.
Like that. There's a lot of players like that.
Do the same thing, yeah.
But I think the Lakers have the talent to rise above all those other teams. I think Sacramento has a talent too, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Is it their bench or Sabonis is having a phenomenal season, man.
They're missing something.
They're missing
a player. They're missing something. They're missing a player. I think they need they would have been good with like a Pat Beverly type of player. Not Pat Beverly, but that type of player, but a bigger version. Somebody that's a disruptor that mix it up, but he can hit an open shot. That's what I think they're missing, man.
Somebody bigger than Monk.
Because Monk is a little small. Monk is smaller than Fox.
Yeah.
So it's just that Monk is just broader than Fox, a little broader than him, but they don't got no weight to them. They need somebody like a small forward, a wing, to kind of hold it down.
Yeah. Shouts out to Phoenix, but I don't see them. I don't know, man.
Yeah, they're done after the play-in. They'll get in, and then they out in the first round.
Beat the Nuggets last night.
They can beat the Nuggets. They'll be out in the first round.
Wow. So that's your answer, LA Lakers. And I think that'll be on the strength of AD. Has to be dominant. And
MVP
LeBron has to
candidate.
play. LeBron
MVP.
has to play lights out.
Shout out to
Lakers ain't
AD.
getting out of the play-in. Remember, I said it first.
Who?
Say it again.
The Lakers ain't getting out of the play-in.
All right.
All right, we'll mark you on that.
Mm-hmm.
So the Rockets overtake the Dubs or no? Yay or nay?
Rockets overtake the Dubs. I think on the low,
Close.
I got my. I'm going with
Huh?
Houston. I'm going with Houston.
I'd love to see it. I'd
Off
love to
the
see
bandwagon.
You like to
it.
see
I'd love
it?
to see it.
So they're talking like, all right. So
Come on.
if the Dubs, the Dubs, the Lakers, or the Suns fall out of the play-in, right? That's kind of like a changing of the guard because you look at the West now, top heavy with the young Turks like the Timberwolves, the Thunder, the Clippers are not that young, but the Pelicans also, even the Mavericks are clicking now with the combination of Kyrie and Luka Brasi over there in Dallas. He's been an assassin, so they can definitely make a strong playoff run. But it's a changing of the guard because you got SGA and OKC, you got Anthony Edwards, and that team is young. Even the Grizzlies, when Ja Morant comes back, that's still relatively a young squad. And you got the older G's, the Stephs, the LeBrons. They're now at the bottom, of the standings. And that's something that we have not seen over the past. Like, when the last time you seen Steph Curry Dubs team so low in the standings or a Lakers team so low in the standings?
I remember in the 90s when it happened with the Rockets, got put out to pastures. It happens all the time. Or when the Blazers got put out to pastures after they choked against the Lakers. Because the time you got to put dudes out to pastures.
What goes around comes around.
Yeah.
So you saw that buzzer beater that Kyrie hit.
Oh yeah.
I think he's probably the most talented player in the NBA, man, that I've seen in years. Let's take that out, man.
Kleba to inbound. Kleba looking in for Irving. Irving for the win. Oh my God! A southpaw finish for
Baby hook.
Irving. Just absurd.
With the left hand.
That was a nice shot, but he can't be the first man on the team.
What do you mean? You're always attacking Kyrie, man. Why he can't be the first one?
Because he can't. He's not consistent enough. He's not Eli Manning.
You trying to say Kyrie don't make his teammates better?
I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying he can't be the lead man. He can't be the captain of the ship. That's all.
Why not?
He can be on the ship, definitely. He can be the second hand. He can be the admiral or admiral. Pause. He can't be the admiral. Can't be the captain.
And just the left hand.
You know, there was a time where
that is
I
one
would
of the
agree with you
nastiest games
wholeheartedly.
I have seen in a while.
I think now,
that type of finish
I think
from
now
Kyrie Irving.
he's more equipped mentally and
as soon as he
emotionally
released it, I have seen
to
him
be
make
the
shots
leader
like
of a
that. Not a
team than he
magnitude
was
for a
any
game winner.
season in his life
But
previously.
man,
And I think like the whole Dallas experience that humbled him, yo. That whole Brooklyn stuff.
That is
like basically Dallas was like, yo. Remember that scene?
Floater at the
remember
buzzer,
that scene in Scarface?
Luka in disbelief.
He was like,
at how incredible that finish was from
Frank,
Kyrie Irving.
And he shot Frank. And then he shot the cop. And then before they left, they was like, what about Ernie? And they looked, they was like, yo, you want a job, Ernie? He was like, yeah, thanks, Tony. I think that's like how Dallas kind of reached out to Kyrie, like, yo, let's send him a lifeline and whatnot, man. Because he was looking for a long-term deal, and he wasn't going to get no long-term deal with all the baggage that he had, especially the last two stops that he had. So I really think that helped to mature him to the point where, remember, he even said that he talked to LeBron and had to apologize to him because he was like he couldn't understand what LeBron was trying to do, and you know, at the time he wasn't ready to accept being like a little brother or something like that, and you know, he had to apologize. He's more mature now and all of that. So I think now Kyrie might be better equipped to be a number one 31. But I definitely agree with you, Cash, that like prior to this season, yeah, I had that reservation when they was talking about KD and Kyrie coming to the Knicks. I was like, KD all day. I don't want no parts of Kyrie.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Stephen A. This was
I would have to disagree to a certain extent, because first of all, LeBron wouldn't have won that chip in Cleveland without Kyrie. That's definitely a fact.
Cleveland would be a lottery team without LeBron.
Because you're maligning my young G, and I don't think it's warranted. Now, first of all, the fiasco in Brooklyn with him not getting vaccinated and all this other stuff, that was beyond his control, because that was his choice, spiritual, religious, or whatever his belief was. You got to respect that. You might not have agreed with it or liked it from a Brooklyn Nets perspective, or just watching the game and saying, oh man, he's sitting out, he's causing his team games. But you got to respect that man and his spiritual beliefs, man. You can't knock that. Like, if Ben Simmons could bang out for like 4 years consecutively, I'm not going to knock Kyrie for taking a stance with the vaccine. And then that was a mandate for New York. And then once Eric Adams started catching enough pressure, because I even posted, I said, yo, listen, Eric Adams, if you don't relax that stance on this vaccine mandate, you're not going to get reelected. And then the following week or two, he relaxed that stance. Not saying because of me, but I'm saying there was a lot of people voicing the same opinion. And after that, Kyrie was able to play. I think what messed up Brooklyn more was Harden, man. Harden was the one, because the year before, the Nets was almost on their way when KD missed that. What was it? A 2? They counted it as a 3. Toe on the line
against Milwaukee.
Right. But then when Harden saw that Kyrie was sitting out, then he now started feeling away. Like, that's not your spiritual stance. That's not your beliefs. You can't, you know what I mean? Like, he's fasting during Ramadan. So right now that he's fasting, he's still playing. And to your point, Ty, I think he's matured enough now where his leadership can match his talent level. Because talent-wise, he's otherworldly. There are a handful of players that are as talented as Kyrie. Handles, shot-making ability, finishing.
Can you mention what happened with Boston also? Because it seems like you skipped over that also.
He said he went from Cleveland to Brooklyn.
Yeah, mention what happened with Boston.
It wasn't a good fit in Boston.
You talking about
the team? It wasn't a good fit.
You talking about a team that only lost 10 games this year?
That was not the same team.
That wasn't a good fit, because
they got to the
point I made earlier.
Kyrie wasn't ready without him. They got to the conference finals without him.
You're talking about how many years ago? Because you clapping don't mean your point is valid.
They got bounced.
How long ago was that Boston team?
Bro, they went to the conference finals without him.
How long was that Boston team? How long ago was that?
5 years ago.
5 years. You think this Boston team, you said they only lost 10 games, is the same consistent team as that other team 5 years ago?
They went to the conference finals.
Read to you, young fella.
They went to the conference finals without him. They lost to the second round in 2 games with him.
Okay, that was one season.
You didn't even
that was Kyrie's fault. That was Kyrie's fault.
He was the leader. He's the most talented person in the NBA.
You got it out for the young G, man.
I don't got it out for him. But
yeah, you do, man.
Bro.
But you'll big up them bums on Orlando, but you keep attacking Kyrie.
He never been a team player, bro. Don't come
How
to
you
me.
Figure, bro? As I will repeat again, if that was the case,
Aaron
the Cavaliers would not have beat Warriors, bro.
If he wasn't out partying in Instagram lives and foolishness.
So now the man is fasting for this month of Ramadan.
Now
you're accusing him of just
now he's fasting. He wasn't fasting in that Twitter in the Twitter video with him in the club.
Bro, how many NBA players party, bro?
How many NBA players get
you act like he's the only one?
Online. Who caught online? How many
lot
NBA
of
players
them.
want to be a leader? None of them. Yo,
Oh
you
man.
talk about he's a leader, right?
So you just out for Kyrie, man.
I'm
I
not
get
out
it.
for him. I'm just saying he's
So
not a
who
leader.
else? Who else? Who else? Who
I'm
else?
just saying
Then?
he's not a leader. We are Kyrie. He's
Who's
just
the
not a
leader on the Magics?
Why are you attacking my Magic?
Because you attacking my young G Kyrie. So
what?
all is fair, bro. All is fair.
You pay your taxes?
All is fair.
You get a tax return from him?
I
don't
pay
know why we
taxes.
defended Kyrie. I was calling a spade a spade. He can't
Because
lead a
he's
team.
one of the most talented players in the
He
NBA.
is. Kevin Durant is, but he can't lead a team. Let's just call a spade a spade. Stop
Some
trying to
players
think.
lead-
Just because
some
he's celebrating
players-
Ramadan don't mean that
I'm just
he's
saying
not
as
just
a
like
point,
Kevin
because
Durant.
you said he's out there partying. You can't party and fast and
He
do
got
Ramadan at
what
the
I'm
same
trying to
time.
say is he got caught partying, and that's why they was on him
Bro,
for the
you don't party.
vaccine.
You was
If
just
he
in the
kept on
hospital
the
last night partying.
If he left on the low, nobody would have known that he
Bro,
would
I
have got
think-
his vaccine.
I
He's
think-
not the only
I
person in
think
the
what
NBA
you're doing
that
is
didn't get the vaccine.
what do you do? Steal your girlfriend in high school, bro? Why you so
He's
mad
not-
at Kyrie?
He's not the only person in the NBA that didn't get the vaccine. That's all I'm gonna say. He's the only
Okay,
one.
but
that
he's the
got
only
big
one that
Congo
got that
first.
much attention off of that.
He's
Right
not
or
the only
wrong?
one, and I'm gonna say again, he's not
But-
the only one.
Okay, you're not listening, my young brother. He's the only one that got all that attention for not getting the vaccine.
No, he got caught.
Who
No, he
got
got attention because
more-
he made all
Who
those
got more
statements.
burned because they didn't get the vaccines? Just name
It's
them.
because he was
Don't
making
give
the
me a
statements,
long
bro.
argument. Give me a name. Who got more burned because of not getting the vaccine in the
Hmm?
NBA?
Rudy Gobert.
Nah.
Rudy Gobert, who gave
Nah.
people COVID in a news conference in front
He
of
infected
everybody.
everybody.
Thank
Rudy
you,
started the
infected
pandemic.
everybody.
Rudy Gobert started the
I rest,
pandemic.
I rest my
Yeah.
case. I rest my case. I
But
rest
he
my case.
wasn't-
You
he
asked me a
wasn't the
question, I
one.
gave you an answer. Now you
You
give me
rest
another
the
question
case.
now, sir. I
He
rest
was
my
not
case,
more
sir.
maligned than Kyrie.
I rest my case, sir.
He might have been the first one to infect others and stuff, but Kyrie sat out, and when he sat out, that's all you heard about. That's all you heard about. You
I'll be
sound
real
kind of
with you.
salty, man.
If
but
he wouldn't have outed himself, he would have been straight, bro. He's not the only Muslim in the NBA. I also want to say that either. He's not
There
the
you
only
go.
Muslim in the NBA. I just want to say that.
you sound like a big hater, bro.
I'm not
Big
saying
hater. Big
guy
hater
from-
over
the
there.
guy who got hurt from Houston is Muslim also. But that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like other people are in the same category as him. It's just because he did the foolishness.
No one is
and that's why I
attacking
wouldn't
those
trust
other
him as a
players,
leader.
though.
And I
No
wouldn't
one is
trust him as a leader.
But you're not attacking those other players. You're
But
attacking
they're not
Kyrie.
being brought up as a leader.
Okay, so you want Kyrie to be more of a leader. Okay, just say that.
That's what I'm saying.
But
He's
don't
not a
take
leader.
away from his overall talent.
He's
Like
not
I
a
said,
captain. He's an admiral. He's not a captain. That's all.
like I said, the Cavs wouldn't have won that chip without Kyrie, man. LeBron needed him, man.
Yeah. Miami wouldn't have won that chip without
Without who?
Ray Allen.
Without Ray Allen. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
but it was more than just one shot, though.
They was done. They was
Kyrie
cooked if
was
he wouldn't hit
cooking
that
stuff
shot.
in that series. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Nah, you right about that.
Cooking.
You right about that.
All right, so we're gonna put a bow on that, man. Kato is hating on Kyrie.
I'm not
Send
hating
up
on him.
the
I like him.
APB.
He's talented.
Come get him. All right. Yo, opening day, man. Live from the Diamond. They opened up in Seoul, Korea, where the Dodgers and the Padres split a 2-game series over there. But while they were out there, though, the biggest story of the young MLB season already broke. Shohei Otani is hot as noodles right now because his interpreter, who was fired by the Los Angeles Dodgers, was caught up in a scandal where he had a bookie, and gambling is illegal in California, placing bets, and the tally came up to about 4.5 million, and the funds were taken out of Otani's bank account. There's now an FBI investigation that's pending following the bookie, and Shohei got caught up in that. At first, they said he paid off the debt for his friend. Then his lawyers came out the next day and said no, he was unaware of any transaction taking place where a bookie was involved. He gave a statement yesterday distancing himself from his former friend interpreter, and he said he had no knowledge of it. He never gambled on sports, never gambled on baseball, and he says his interpreter never gambled on baseball either. The floor is yours. Your thoughts on that?
I'll go first. Well, if that man was my complexion, he would have been done cooked already, as this generation would say. That's first thing. Number two is, why did statement take so long to come out? I think certain people is getting paid. We got some Brian Andersons in the background. There's some other people getting paid to just keep their mouth shut and stuff and take the heat. And the last point of all, when they brought up the interpreter's resume that they did not check, there's only 32 teams. You didn't cross-reference his bank statements and all of that stuff. People don't wake up and start gambling large sums of money. He had a gambling problem from before. And what I really think, no, I'm talking about the interpreter. But what I really think is Shohei started to get into it, and then he started placing bets for Shohei. That's what I think happened. Because the interpreters really be tight with the players, so some of his bad habits could have linked off.
Okay. What say you, Ty?
What bookie do you know is going to let a
The interpreter, hold on 1 second. The interpreter's name is Ipe Mizahura.
Right.
He's been fired.
What bookie you know is going to let an interpreter get $5
run
million
up that type of bill? Yeah.
Right. That's
and then the original story, and then the original story was the interpreter went to pay something for somebody. He said he couldn't do it, so Shohei had to do it for him. It's like the story just changed.
Yeah, bro.
I was like, nah, man. There's no way you a regular dude and you running up and
running
not
up
to say that the interpreter
$500,000
is a regular
$1 million
dude.
tab.
Come on now.
Yeah, bro. Somebody would have broke his legs or arms by now, Tom. Can we just say what a spade is? Somebody would have broke his spleen or something.
And here's the other part.
Come on, bro.
Shohei and them, like your people, like that's your good friend because he's your interpreter now and all that. But he don't have no idea that you gambling and he just ready to give you $5 million.
Yeah,
like
bro.
That. Like,
yeah, that don't even make no sense. Can I get a house in Virginia? Todd, you got a house in Virginia for sale, bro?
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? It just don't make no sense. Any way you turn it, man. And it's an interesting thing to see how deep this goes and to what lengths the major league baseball and whoever else goes to protect Otani, because the feds is involved in this, yo.
Can I say something quick before we go off of this? Your man Magic is behind the scenes making phone calls, bro.
Magic Johnson?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
I'm gonna tell y'all something
he
too.
seems like he got a piece of every team
hold
in
on.
every sport.
And I'm gonna tell y'all why too. Because who just owned parts of the team in Washington where the politicians and stuff are? I know it's not the rest of the Guggenheims.
But either way you slice and dice it, man. He just got a $700 million contract. Right now, he's the face of baseball. He's a box office attraction. So they're not going to let him go down.
That would be a major black eye on MLB.
Right. That would be the biggest black eye
let Pete
in
Rose
baseball
go down
since Pete Rose.
They let
Pete Rose was at the end of his career, though. And wasn't he managing? He wasn't playing anymore.
He was managing.
Yeah, he was a manager.
But he was also betting on baseball.
Yeah. But I think Shohei was betting on baseball, bro.
Yeah, but they didn't prove it yet. Or if they
to tie
did.
that in, you had Michael Porter Jr.'s brother. What's his name?
Jonte Porter.
Porter.
Yo, your man's done. He's done.
So
I was
now,
reading that about him. He's done.
Ty, can you tell us about that?
So Jonte Porter has been involved in two of the biggest prop bet payouts in legal sports gambling history.
What's prop bet? What's a prop bet?
When you
Prop
bet
bets
on the
is betting
players
on everything
over or under.
but the actual outcome of the game.
Right, like
So prop bets you could bet on what color sneakers Jalen
Shout out
Brunson's
Ace
gonna wear
Great.
tonight. You know what I'm
Yo,
saying? Those are all prop bets. Anything other than this is going to be the outcome of the game.
right. Jonte
But like
Porter is gonna score
Jonte Porter, matter of
10 or
fact,
more
Jonte
points.
Porter was on a 10-day contract, so he's not even a regular rotation player.
Right.
And there was a prop bet on him.
For
I
2
think
mil?
the first time it was to not hit 4 rebounds, to get under 4 rebounds, and to get less than his average of 1 3-pointer a game or something like that. So like with I think 3 minutes to go in the first half, in the first quarter, or 6 minutes to go in the first quarter of the first time he bet, he had his 3rd rebound. so like during the timeout that he went to the bench and you saw him like looking at his eye or whatever. So he went to the locker room. He never came back for the rest of the game. He didn't shoot no 3-pointers and he had 3 rebounds. And somebody had made a prop bet. They bet like I think like 400,000 or something like that for him to not hit whatever he was supposed to hit. $1.3 million payout to that person. Biggest prop bet payout in sports gambling.
But it wasn't just one person. It was a lot of money on him that day. And that was the first time.
Your man was making more money off that deal than he was making his 10-day contract. Yo, bro.
But here's
as
the
long
other
as you beat the charge, bro.
No, but that's
deal.
You got away with it one time.
Right.
Then,
you only get away with it once.
When the
you
books
only get away with it once.
and
they
the
did it
sports
again.
Books
the
saw
same type of deal. Did
red
it again.
flag. So now he's under investigation.
Won a big payout. So they triggered all kinds of.
Well, let me tell y'all something. If there wasn't no gambling, if it wasn't legalized, would they be able to do this?
No, exactly.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
That's the whole thing. Now that gambling is legalized.
Ethics, but it puts people in a ethical compromise because now you got players who can do like he did, and affect the outcome of a payoff, right? You got players who can affect the outcome of a game. You got referees now who can affect the outcome of a game. That's why Gobert did the money sign. What was it, last week or the week before? And now they're talking about taking that out of the scenario where you could do the prop bets.
They're talking about removing. Actually, the NCAA has filed a petition with the gambling commissions of each and every individual state to get prop bets to forbid no prop bets for college games because they said there were just last season, this season I don't remember what 173 incidents that their investigation found where there were players, coaches, or whoever betting on games. And they say a lot of it is due to the fact that outside people, victimize these kids. You got some kid from, Idaho or something like that. He ain't never left his state. And now you got him playing basketball in Chicago on one of the biggest name schools in the country. Somebody gonna come at him like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I need you to do this. I need you to do that. And just lean on him, intimidate him. Who you gonna go to? But what would you expect Michael Porter Jr. to say? That's what he's saying is the case with I don't know if he's saying it, but he's supporting his brother.
He got extorted.
He's supporting his brother, and I think they're saying that the claims are that he was extorted or something like not extorted, but extorted basically.
I'll tell you my firsthand experience with that, being a former women's assistant basketball coach and a high school assistant. They be betting on what you just said. What's it called?
Prop bets.
Prop bets at the games and stuff with the free throws and stuff like that. And at the end of games, it causes a level of anger that I knew it was tied to something, and it took me a couple of games in to figure it out. And I'm talking about men's and female.
They do it in Pop Warner. They do it in Pop Warner.
What?
Yep.
Cats used to
AAU.
bet on my games when I used to coach Little
What?
League. They used to bet on my games. Yeah,
What?
they do it. They had, matter of fact, there was a whole expose documentary on that
What?
where they bet on Pop Warner games. Like it's serious business. Like, you know, the hustlers
That's
come and they
sad.
throw a lot of money down on those
That's
games,
sad.
man.
That's sad.
But since you got to slide out the building, Cash,
Mhm.
any final thoughts, man?
Man, I just want to give a shout out to
Ooh.
your man Juan Soto. All you Yankee fans, I give a spade when the spade is good. Y'all brought him into town. Y'all didn't give him the extension. Beautiful outfield assist today and won the game.
Yeah,
Yo.
that saved the game
Yeah, to
versus
save
the
game
Astros. Yep,
against
definitely.
the Astros. So I got to give a shout out to Juan Soto.
Yo, Logic,
And-
do we have that?
Yeah,
That Juan Soto throw from the outfield
it's
that
crazy.
saved the game.
I'll pull it
That
up for you right now.
That
Cool.
is what you guys needed. That was missing from the Bronx with all these other
But Garrett
signings.
Cole is out though, so for 2
I
months.
know. Just saying, the guy y'all picked up, you know, when y'all picked up certain players, they just don't work from the beginning. That's a sign of good.
His
That's the time.
what you call it? His addition was incredible. He's a top 5 player.
Yeah, it's definitely so. No, but you know how certain players can't cut it in New York in the bright lights.
Here we go. This is the play that saved the game.
hmm
They're gonna need a lot from him, man.
It's a base hit to right field. Dubon rounds third. They're waving him home. Here's the
Go.
Here's the play.
It's a gun.
I haven't seen something
Gun 'em.
like that since the great Ichiro.
Gun him.
Ichiro.
That's what they need, though.
Ichiro.
And then that takes some of the stress off of Judge, because Judge can't be the
Judge
end
can't
all
be
be
the
all.
only one.
Yeah,
He can't
exactly.
be the
That was a
only one.
gun,
That
though.
is great. Y'all better back up the. He's not a Boris client, right?
Yeah, he is.
Oh man, yo, give him whatever he wants and call it
I
a
think
day.
so, man. He's worth it.
Yeah,
Wow,
give
that
him
was
whatever he
a
wants.
gun right there.
That's amazing in the first game.
Got myself a gun.
Yeah, I love to see it. And me, as a baseball fan
Yeah.
That was
and a
close.
purist,
Yeah.
outfield assists. You
Wow.
can't take steroids to do an outfield assist. It's a
He's
combination of many skills. And me, I never played little league or baseball or been involved
Wow.
at any level.
Yeah.
But to know from a fan, that's one of the hardest plays to do. And when you do it, it shows on so much matrix. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? It's very important. And to know that you guys brought him in and he did that the first day, I give you
Yep.
guys 2 thumbs up, man.
Yeah, he definitely. What
thumbs up
about your
for that.
Dodge? What about your Braves, man?
Come on, man.
Are they
You know
gonna
the Braves is
overtake
the Braves.
the Dodgers? Got 3 MVPs in their starting
It doesn't
lineup,
matter.
man.
That's paper. Nobody wins a championship on
Betts.
paper.
They got Mookie Betts,
Doesn't matter.
Shohei, and then your former Brave, Freddie Freeman, back
Some
to
of
back
them-
to back.
Some of those is choke artists.
Mm.
Some of them is choke artists in the clutch. We seen it last year. It's cool.
We'll
I'm
see.
cool. We'll see.
Before you spin off, who you got winning the American League East? Right quick.
Cool. On a low,
You still got the
I got-
Orioles?
nah, because teams like that don't win 2 years in a row. I got the Blue Jays.
You got
Got
the Blue Jays?
Blue Jays.
Hmm.
Close over the Yankees. The Blue Jays, though.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Jays.
Central, who you got?
I got
The Twinkies?
Indians. I'm
The
going to
Indians?
Guardians. The Guardians. I'm sorry, the Guardians.
Guardians.
I'm going with the
Cleveland
Guardians.
Guardians, man.
I'm going to Guardians. I'm going to Guardians.
What about the West? You got the Rangers,
I'm
Mariners,
going with
Athletics, the
I'm going with
Astros.
Houston.
Going
going
with
with
Houston. Okay. All right, let's move on to the National
Because
League.
I
right
rap a lot. Because I rap a lot. I'm with Houston.
quick. National League East.
Yeah,
You got
National League
Phillies,
East. Come
Mets,
on.
Braves,
Don't even mention none of those. It's the
the
Braves.
Marlins.
It's the Braves. What we talking about?
All right, the Central. Pirates, Reds, Cubs, Brewers, or Cardinals.
I'm going with. All the teams look weak. I'm going with the Brewers.
Okay. In the West, you got the Dodgers, Padres, Diamondbacks, Rockies, or Giants.
I got the Dodgers, followed by a tight race with the Diamondbacks and the Giants. I think it's going to be a real tight one out there out west.
And who
Those
you
two
got in the
teams are
World
stacked.
Series? Who you got in the World Series?
The Bravos.
Versus who? They can't play themselves. Pause.
I'm gonna go with the. Nah, I can't. I'll go with the Houston Astros.
Oh,
Can't go wrong because I rap a lot.
I'm allergic to you, bro. What about
Houston,
you, Ty?
Atlanta.
American League East. Got the Blue
Baltimore.
Jays, the Red Sox. You got the Orioles. Okay. Central. You got the Twinkies, the Tigers, the Guardians, the Royals, or the White Sox.
Cleveland.
What about the West? The Rangers, the Mariners, the Athletics, the Astros, or the Los Angeles Angels?
Houston. Let's go with Houston.
Allergic to you too. Who's coming out the American League?
He's just a Houston hater. He hasn't been to Houston, Ty. Never been to Houston before. You gotta get this guy out there.
I don't like cheaters, man. Remember, I was stationed in Texas.
Oh, yeah, my bad, bro. I ain't know. Just because you stationed in Texas don't mean you in Houston.
You gotta go to Houston when you in Texas. You gotta go to Houston.
You gotta go to Dallas if you're in Texas.
I've been there too, brother.
Yeah, you gotta go to Dallas.
Been to Killeen, Abilene.
Yes.
All right, Ty, who's coming out the American League, bro?
Houston.
Hey, it's about to drop.
Unless you know the Yankees just have some incredible fortune this year.
All right.
They're not going nowhere with Nestor the Molester.
Moving to National League.
Damn.
American National League East. Phillies, Mets, Braves, Marlins, or Nationals, Ty?
Is Harper still on the Phillies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go with Philly.
Come on,
Central,
Ty.
the Pirates, the Reds, the Cubs, the Brewers, or the Cardinals?
Hey, shouts out to my man Kenny. I'm going with Pittsburgh. Let's go Pittsburgh.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Yeah, man. And the West is the Padres, the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks, the Rockies, and the Giants.
Dodgers.
All right. In my opinion, and you got who coming out the National League?
Dodgers.
Dodgers versus the Orioles.
Yep.
All right. In my picks, American League, got to go with the Yankees. I don't believe in the Orioles a second straight season.
Gotcha.
But we'll see. The Central, I'm going to have to go with the Guardians. The West, I'm going with the Rangers. National League East, the Braves. National League Central, I'm going with the Cubs. And then the West, I'm going with the Dodgers. I got the Dodgers coming out of the National League. And I got the Rangers coming out the American League. That's it. Peace, Kato Cash. Any last thoughts on that, man? Cash, man, stay out my bank account, man. Doing the Shohei Otani. Just disappeared and shit. Go to talk to your bookie. Any last thoughts? How you think about the Mets, huh?
I don't think about the Mets. I got love for the Mets.
They got no love for the hometown.
I got love for the Mets, man. As long as they're not playing the Yankees.
Yeah.
It's New York love for me. It's always New York love for me. But it's Knicks, Giants, Yankees in that order.
In that order. I feel you. Definitely moving right along, man. As we gave our picks, we're moving on to the guts and the ice NHL standings, man. You got the Bruins in first place, followed by the Panthers and the Leafs and the Lightning. The season is coming to a close. they line up with the NBA. So you're gonna see the playoffs coming in the Eastern Conference. You got the Metropolitan leaded up by the Rangers, followed by the Hurricanes, and then the Flyers and the Capitals, Devils, and then the Islanders. Western Conference, you got the Dallas Stars, Colorado Avalanche, the Winnipeg Jets, Nashville Predators, the Blues, Minnesota Wild, and the Coyotes and the Blackhawks. Oh, they still got an Indian name. I guess they ain't get that memo in the NHL. In the Pacific, you got the Canucks in first place, followed by the Edmonton Oilers, the Los Angeles Kings, and the Los Angeles Kings, followed by the Vegas Golden Knights, Calgary Flames, and the Seattle Kraken. I know you not a big NHL guy. We talked about that, but playoff time, it got to bring a little buzz, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially since the New York Rangers are the first team to clinch a spot.
Right.
So salute on that. For real, for real.
Yeah, they definitely are. Do you root for the Rangers or the Islanders when they play each other?
For the Rangers.
The Rangers?
Yeah.
Okay, copy that. Copy that. So you go on Rangers. Do you show love to the Islanders? Well, they in the same conference, so they might meet up.
Will they?
They might, because they're in the same conference.
Yeah, this is true.
Yep. So definitely rooting for the Rangers, New York team. I give some love to the Islanders and some to New Jersey Devils.
Yeah, I was about to say, shout out. I remember I had a Jersey's Devil back. I mean, look at me, a Jersey's Devil, a Devil's jersey. back in like the late 80s, I had a Jersey Devil. I had a jersey. I had a jersey.
A Devil's jersey.
A Devil's jersey.
I got a Blackhawks and the Islanders and the Rangers. Yep. So moving along, I had a Jersey Devil too. Pause, man. Yeah.
Tasmanian.
Our monsters of the week, man, with the usual suspects and some new additions, man. We got to get into that. Call them out. Call them out. Who's your monster of the week? Well, we already know Anthony Edwards is a beast.
For sure, Anthony Edwards. Still got to give it up for my man. Well, actually, my monster of the week is I got to show some love for Coach Tom Thibodeau of my New York Knicks, having us in third place right now. Not so much a monster, but like I said, I'm definitely rocking with him. Definitely liking what we're doing right now. Especially missing 3 starters. Hats off the Tibbs.
Yeah, he definitely gets props for that. I gotta give it up to Dawn Staley. A tip of the hat right there, man. She's got South Carolina Lady Gamecocks balling. Tara Vanderveer. Matter of fact, I'm a give it up to Clark, Caitlin Clark. And who else? Oh, I got to give it up to Juju Watkins. She's balling out of her mind, man.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely. Any other monsters of the week?
Those are the only monsters. That's the only monsters I got right now.
Oh, definitely. Juan Soto, apparently.
Right. Real quick. Real quick.
Opening day, he makes his presence felt. So Juan Soto, definitely a monster of the week. And
real quick. My dad sent me a couple of texts while the game was on. The first text was, when does football season start again? The last text was he was ready to book tickets for the World Series.
Hey, man, tell him let's go. Tell him let's go, man. Yeah. So moving along, man. The Orphans, man. Who's not in your network?
The Orphans.
They're not on our network.
They rumble anyway.
Seem like I'm picking on bro, but Draymond Green is not in my network, man.
I'd have to second that. I'd definitely have to second that, man, because it's enough already, bro. Like
exactly.
It's enough already. You're a grown man, and it's not like you're dumb. or ignorant. You have your mental faculties about you. You're a smart dude. So it's like you, to your point, he just wants to be like that ratchet chick, bro.
Right.
Unfortunate. Let's see who else might not be in the network right now.
I was gonna put the Porter kid, man, but I think we should just wait to see
wait that out.
What type of pressure he was under, man.
Mizurua is not network right now.
See, but even him, man, I might say, right now you're thinking
he's the fall guy, man.
He's the fall guy. So, like, for real, man, that's a stand-up dude, man. He jumping in front, man. He taking the bullets for you. So
okay,
that's the dude you want in your network. You know what I'm
saying? Now that you put it that way, I kind of had to take that. I gotta take that one back. But so jury's still out on Jontay Porter.
The jury's still out on Porter, man, because he's a young kid, man, and ain't no telling how they came at him. But if it was straight up, or if it was straight up just let me try and make this check because I know I ain't really gonna have no viable NBA career, then yeah, he's definitely not in the network, man. If that's it, man, because that's a black eye, man. Definitely a black eye in the sport, B.
Definitely. All right, we're gonna move along, man. The BK Ties top 5, man. Take it away, bro.
All right. So tonight's top 5 list is the top 5 NBA number 1 picks that's currently still in the league. So these are the top 5 players in the league ranked to me. And just to let you know that there are 13 players that are currently still playing in the NBA who were number 1 picks when they were drafted. So coming in at number 5, we have Victor Wembanyama of the San Antonio Spurs, drafted just this past offseason, number 1 overall. This season, he's averaging 21 and 10 with 3 blocks a game, and he has to be the odds-on favorite for Rookie of the Year. Has so far played 64 games, which I got to tip my hat to him because NBA players of his stature, I think he's 7'7" or 7'5" or whatever, however tall he is, very slim. They have foot problems, man. They're historically not so durable. But this guy is not only playing, but they've called Kristaps Porzingis the unicorn. Victor Wembanyama is the true unicorn. I mean, this guy handles, he can shoot, defense, he just has a complete package. He's going to be a monster. He's going to take over this league, or he's going to be one of the guys to take this league over in about another 2 seasons. Coming in at number 4, I have Zion Williamson of the New Orleans Pelicans, who was drafted number 1 in 2019, 2 picks before RJ Barrett, who was drafted by my Knicks. Zion is averaging 22, 5, and 5 this year, has played in 61 games. And that's pretty good numbers considering how out of shape he seemed in the beginning of the year and a lot of the criticism that he got. But right now, New Orleans is tied for 4th, or a half a game out of the 4th spot in the West. And Zion Williamson currently accounts for 62% of the team's win shares. So Zion coming in at number 4. Number 3, we have Anthony Davis from the New Orleans Pelicans. Another cat that I got to tip my hat to. He's gotten a lot of criticism from me, most recently for being included in the NBA's top 75 list. I personally thought that was a Travis mockery because the dude has never excelled as the go-to player or number 1 player on a team without having another superstar on the team with him. And then his durability has always been an issue. Well, regarding his durability, he's played 68 games this season, averaging 25, 12, and 2 blocks. Has been arguably, depends on who you ask, the most important, won't say the best, but the most important player on the LA Lakers this year, even though they're currently battling to at least stay in the play-in. So shouts out to Anthony Davis coming in at number 3. Also, wanted to mention Anthony Davis, by many accounts, is probably a top 5 candidate for MVP in the league this year as well. It's definitely top 10, but arguably top 5 as well. Coming in at number 2, we have Ant-Man from Minnesota, drafted first in 2020. There's a lot that you can say about this cat. Particularly, I remember when Jordan was the man in the league and everybody came in and they were comparing everybody from Harold Miner to Grant Hill to I don't know who to Michael Jordan. Then when Kobe came along, he shut it down. Kobe was the Michael Jordan clone for real, in attitude, in aggressiveness, in competitiveness, in skill. He was up there, and there hasn't been a player since, in my opinion, until now. This guy Anthony Edwards is a monster, averaging 26, 5, and 5 assists. He might be the best two-way player, the best two-way guard in the league right now, scoring wise anyway. Has Minnesota tied for the second record in the West, even after losing Karl Anthony Towns, another all-star, about 2 weeks ago. So shouts out to Anthony Edwards, number 2 in the top 5 NBA number 1 picks. And coming in at number 1, I kind of had to get a little wake-up call from Kato Cash as I was telling him the list earlier, because I had my man as an honorable mention until I just looked at the stats again. First of all, for this being his 40th year in the league, that right there is 20th. Noteworthy. Sorry, look at me. Ooh, my bad. Excuse me. His 20th year in the league. That right there in itself is noteworthy. But the fact that it's his 20th year in the league and he's probably one of the top 10 players in the league right now, if not definitely top 20. After being older than 38 years old is just incredible. Coming in at number 1, LeBron James, drafted number 1 in 2003 by the Cleveland Cavaliers, averaging 25, 7, and 8. And for a 38 or 39-year-old, he's played in 63 games this season. LA is currently, like I said, battling for a play-in spot. But the numbers that this guy is putting up, first of all, at his age, is incredible and unprecedented. But then for him to be putting these numbers up and these numbers showing that he's still one of the best players in the league 20 years in is, just salute to this cat. We're not going to get into the whole Jordan and LeBron.
No, we're not doing that.
I'm not talking about me and you, but I'm talking about other people that see this will, they'll have their comments. But as far as right now, the top 5 NBA number 1 picks currently still in the league. Number 5, Victor Wembanyama, drafted in 2024. Zion Williamson, drafted in 2019. Anthony Davis, drafted in 2012. Anthony Edwards, drafted number 1 by Minnesota in 2020. And LeBron James, drafted number 1 overall in 2003. Honorable mention to Paolo Banchero and Kyrie Irving, the most incredibly individual offensive player that I've seen in a long time. But that's my top 5 list.
All right. I have no problem with that. Solid top 5. All right. So you based it on what they're doing now or what they have done?
Correct. What they're doing right now.
Right now?
Yes.
I don't know. I would have to put Kyrie before Wemby.
Okay.
I wouldn't have Wemby on that list, to be honest with you. That's just me. I just think that he needs to show me more. He has the bulk up to your prophecy that you put out there that he's going to be one of the forces in the league next 2-3 years.
Right.
That I don't doubt, but he has the bulk up, but he's got time to do that because he's 19. Is Derrick Rose still playing?
Derrick Rose, injured? He announced his retirement. I don't even think he's playing
I thought he was like on one of those teams, like the Wolves.
He's on Memphis.
Okay,
he's on Memphis, but I don't even think he's getting any playing time.
I thought he was injured. Definitely.
It might be injured, but even so, I can't put him on this list. He's not.
No. I ain't saying on the list. Yeah. He definitely gets honorable mention. John Wall gets honorable mention.
John Wall ain't playing no more.
Yeah, but he should.
No, this list is just guys that are actually playing. No,
I'm just shouting out number one picks. I got your criteria.
Got you.
Definitely Karl Anthony Towns, who's injured right now. Yep. I would have put Cat before Wemby, even though he's injured. That's definitely that would be on my list though. Right. You got Zion.
Yep.
Paulo
let me read off a couple of others. So since LeBron in 2003, the next will include Derrick Rose since he's on a roster this
shout
year.
Out Dwight Howard.
2008. Yeah, Dwight Howard, 2004. Kyrie in 2011. AD. Wiggins, 2014. He's still playing. Cat. Ben Simmons, not playing right now, but on a roster.
You shouted him out?
Nah, I'm just letting you know all the number one picks.
Nah, Ben Simmons, I saw that, but
that is still playing.
I just went
Simmons, Fultz.
Is Ben Simmons playing?
He's on a roster. He's on a roster.
He ain't in our network, but
he's on a roster. I'm just talking about cats that's on a roster.
I hear you. You ain't gotta go hard for Ben
not
Simmons.
The Anthony Bennett's and the John Walls and the Blake Griffins.
I get it. Blake retired?
I don't know. He's not. He's a free agent.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw Blake playing this year.
I think somebody signed him to a 10-day contract or something like that just recently, if I'm not mistaken. I think you're right about that. But for the most part, for most of the season, I don't think he was on a roster.
Got you. All right, that was BK Todd's top 5. Closing out the show. Shout out to Kato Cash. Shout out to the 718. Shout out to the 757. Your peoples in VA.
2 up, 2 down.
2 up, 2 down. That's
also,
what it is.
Real quick, shout out, thoughts and prayers to the family of those people, the workers that were on that bridge in Baltimore that collapsed.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, salute. Shout out to them, condolences to their families, man. And salute to the authorities that shut the bridge down from all traffic when they got the radio call from the barge that they was having trouble steering that barge before it hit the column. The highway authorities were able to get all the traffic off the bridge and close the bridge. Unfortunately, they wasn't able to get those 7 workers off the bridge before it collapsed. But so shout out to the authorities, man, too, for their swift action, saving more lives, because it could have been worse than that, man. But that's horrible, man.
Right. Definitely shout out to that. Shout out to you for listening. Shout out to my man, Ja Logic on the boards. Much love, family.
Iran Network.
Iran Network, the Iran Union. Right? So that's about it, man. Let's close the show. Peace.
All the time.
Good
seeing you, brother.
Likewise. All the time, fam.
Hey, man, what you doing? What you mean by what I'm doing? You just bumped into me. So move out my way when you see me coming by. No, you walk around me. This is Lord's territory. You about walk around. Hey, here's some Lord's right here. So what? I'm here, too. So what do you mean? Who you with? Who you think I'm with? Who you with, man? The Hawks, sucker. Hey, man, this is Lord's territory, and you got 5 seconds to get off. I tell you, you start counting to 5 like a sucker. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, man. Hey, I think that's the dude, man, that was messing with little boy, man, in school. Yeah, man, that looked like him, man. That's right. You're right. That's just what he is, a little boy fucking with a man. No, man, you're wrong about that. Little boy got more heart than you'll ever have. Yeah, well, you can't prove it by me. Hey, listen. We got a lot of bad blood between us. This is not the time or the place to handle it. No. Let's settle it now. Hey, man, you don't hear right, do you? He hear. You not listening. That's what it is. I let it day it didn't happen. I let it day it happen now. I mean, why don't you stop selling the tickets and forget about it, huh? Listen, man, I'm not going to waste any more of my time with you. You want to deal with the Lord, you deal with us later. You understand? Later. Why should I do something later when I can do it now? Because I told you to. Because you told me to. Who you to tell me what I would get it on with you right now, but I'm man enough to take care of it at another time. You understand? Yeah, I understand. That's your best bet to take care of it at another time. Let's go. Yeah, that's your best bet, suckers.